Hello, my name is Lorenzo, and today I'll be talking about five sports that should be eliminated, and then I'll be supporting my choices with all those sports that I think people should pay attention to because they sound interesting and they sound like a real sport. So the first sport that I'm going to mention is something called extreme ironing. So it's basically a person takes a set of clothes in the iron table, and then he or she sets it up in the middle of a lake, waterfall, or a river. And uh, though it is optional if you want to have your iron connected to the electricity, you're going to be ironing your clothes right in the middle of water, so that makes it really dangerous. And I think that should be eliminated. Like that shouldn't be count as a sport at all. Number two is called wife carrying. It's basically a couple, a man and woman. The man is the one carrying the wife, so she has to get on top of the man, so sort of like around the shoulders, and then he has like to go through a series of activities, that may be, for example, jumping, going into a pool, uh, running, skipping objects, and then the winner is the one who can get uh, to the finish line, and the only thing he wins out of the sport is the respect and trust from his wife, which I think sounds stupid. Well, the next thing, because I could think is a, I don't think that's not really a sport. It's called pillow fighting. Uh, pillow fighting is basically done among women, so it's not for men. So it's basically like it says, you take a pillow, you start fighting with your opponent, and the objective is to defeat your opponent by destroying their pillow. And there's actually like a league, like the pillow fight league. Crazy. Number three is called dog surfing. So basically you take your dog and you teach it how to surf. So, the dog has to get on top of a surfing board, and um, then dogs are free to surf on the water. Um, and what happens to it? The dog that can stand on the surfing board the longest, it's the winner. And this is a pretty famous sport in San Diego, California, and people love it there. Also, they give awards to the cutest dog, the one with the most style, and so on. So I don't think that's a sport because first of all, it's dangerous for the animal, and secondly, I find it so silly. Uh, number three, Number three is something called Quidditch. This is something like related to a sport like Harry Potter plays in the movie Harry Potter, and like when he's trying to catch the Quidditch, so he's on a broom and he's like flying. He's just flying and trying to catch it. Um, so it's basically the same thing, but instead of having like some like a flying object, uh, people they follow a ball, looks like a baseball ball, and but they do it on brooms. So they're on brooms, so they're just walking or pushing it around or running on their brooms, and the objective is to catch the ball and pass it through certain hula hoops until they get the objective. Silly, not a sport. Uh, and the last one that I consider not a sport is something called uh, zorbing. So zorbing is basically like you take a strap and and then that strap, it's like around an oversized hamster, and then you have like to go through two processes. Number one, um, you have to level a ball down a hill, and then with two plastic inflatable balls, one inside the other. Then the other works as a cushion. So what you have to do, you have to basically like push your hamster in order to get to the finish line. But if the ball gets first than you lose. That's not a sport. So now, which one I consider I consider that could be a sport. Well, there's something called bussable. So bussable. It's originally from Belgium, and it's sort of like volleyball, but instead of being like having like the rules of volleyball, they have like eight different playing styles. You can hit the ball up to eight times. The ball, for it to be a point, it needs to go, sorry, over the net, and so on. So another one that I consider could be a sport will be underwater hockey. Why? Uh, because underwater hockey is played on on the floor of a pool. So the players basically they attempt uh to get the ball, or not the ball, the puck. They attempt to get the puck uh to the other side by pushing it underwater, and even though it's a lot different from the NHL hockey, then this underwater hockey gets a lot more excited because it's a lot more difficult to push a puck under the water, and I think it sounds really interesting. So that one should be a sport. People should look into that one. And let me see. And the last one I think should be considered a sport. Um, it's okay. But the last one, actually, I think it should be considered sport would be snorkeling, because I think snorkeling, even though it involves lots of swimming, I think it's a very interesting activity, and uh, maybe just like measuring like how fast a swimmer can go by in on a snorkel. I think that it should be considered a sport, and it should be taken a look into. I don't know. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you agree with my list and you support my ideas. Bye bye.